being a game up, so it's possible he's just going to, try a little bit more of a macro game, maybe turtle up a bit, and try and beat him in the mid to late game. It'll be interesting to see if Paladin tries to do a similar build as he did last time, or anticipate some early aggression and do some maybe early aggression himself.
I would just go out, if I was going to make a prediction, I would say that we're going to see DTs out of Paladin this game.
All right.
But I have been wrong.
You want to put $1 on that?
Nope, I don't.
In the top left, we have the blue Protoss, currently down 1 game. Can he come back for 2 more games to pull out this series? It is Paladin.
In the lower right, we've got our red Protoss. He is up 1-0 currently. His name is eNtitY. As we come into this game, this is going to be a 2-player map, so much easier to scout your opponent as you know exactly where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen, obviously, some pretty mirrored builds out of these guys together. It looks like Paladin's going to get his pylon down a little bit before eNtitY. I've seen some pretty mirrored builds out of these guys.
With Protoss in general, it seems like we've seen some pretty mirrored builds.
Yeah, in Heart of the Swarm, the big thing is we've just seen a lack of robotics facility. No one, it's coming in a little bit more later than like a 3-gate robo like we used to see to be safe against the 4-gate. Now it's coming in to be much more Stargate and a little bit more Twilight, as the players are finding that the Mothership Core is quite useful in that early blink. We just want to take this moment also to welcome everyone watching. We've got a good number of people hanging out with us right now. We welcome you to Big Shot Gaming's Megalan at Mount Pleasant, Michigan, at Central Michigan University. It's a beautiful day to be inside casting StarCraft with you. It's a balmy 30-ish degrees outside,
I think
rainy.
I saw it snowing earlier, too.
Was it snowing? Yeah,
I believe so.
Snowing today, and it's going to be, I believe, about 70 on Monday. Awesome Michigan weather we have here. Looks like these 2 probes are going to come and high-five each other in the center. Looks like they're going to check out each other's towers almost simultaneously. We've got 2 gas from eNtitY, 1 gas from Paladin. Maybe we'll see a more traditional 4-gate if he doesn't put down that gas pretty quick. He's chrono boosting out the probes. eNtity's gateway just finishing, going to put down that cyber core. eNtity's also going to be popping into Paladin's base and Paladin into eNtity's to see what's going on.
eNtitY is mining a bit more gas this game. Last game he put 2 probes into each of the gas geysers, and this time he's got 3 in each, so he'll be gaining gas a little bit faster.
eNtitY is mining about double the gas of Paladin at the moment, actually. Graphs, Nick. Graphs.
Graphs.
Paladin is rallying his gateway to that probe and not producing a Stalker just yet, obviously because the Cyber Core's not done. He's holding off on the Zealot. Looks like he's going to want to do that early Stalker push. Maybe he's going to do the same push as last time, since he is holding off on that Zealot. eNtity's going to be putting down a proxy pylon. Looks like he wants to get business going right away today.
We're going to be seeing probably the exact same rush that we saw last time.
Looks like our warp gate is started pretty much the same time. Paladin got his done going a little bit quicker than eNtitY, but that's not going to be a large enough disparity to really be a huge factor.
Paladin decides to get the defensive Mothership Core, sniffing potentially the same aggression from the previous game.
Looks
and
like
we see
we've
a
got
proxy
a
starport.
Starport. Stargate. Too many Terrans last night. Last night we had some TVT. We had to switch up between Stargates and Starports, but it's going to be a Stargate. So it looks like he's going to get that Oracle coming out right away to come in and do some damage to Paladin's mineral line, which is probably going to be very successful as Paladin is moving out towards the center of the map with his Stalkers and his Mothership Core. That Mothership Core is going to be close to having enough energy by the time that Oracle comes out. Right now it's sitting at about 70. It should get enough energy almost as that Oracle shows up. Stargate coming down as well for Paladin, so it's going to be 2-gate Stargate for Paladin and 1-gate, now 2-gate Stargate from eNtitY. So we're going to have some pretty unique, not necessarily unique, but pretty similar builds, although the Stargate is done and producing the Oracle for eNtitY, which is going to be heading into his base very shortly.
And that's rallied straight into the mineral line of Paladin.
Warp gate's opening up for Paladin, so he's going to be able to warp in a couple Stalkers there as that Oracle comes up, and it's going to come in and get 1, 2, 3 kills, 4 kills. And he warps in 2 Stalkers right under it, so that looks like it's going to be the extent of the damage. 5 kills. Not 6. 5 kills for that Oracle, so a very good play on that Oracle. The Stargate finishes for Paladin. Going to send his probes back to continue mining. It's like he was able to get a lot of the things you see in the lower leagues. Obviously, these are both master players. Is when you kill, sometimes when you go in, you can kill those probes and they forget to put them back in gas, which obviously gives you a big advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see the second Oracle coming out, and it's going to the left with the first Oracle coming in from the right, trying to split those forces a little bit.
Oracle is going to be coming into the right. Oh, and now there's a Phoenix on the field, so Paladin's deciding to go with the Phoenix to try and keep those Oracles at bay. But as that Phoenix chases down, the other Oracle comes in, but he puts down a nice reactionary Photon Overcharge. A little bit of a miss attack, targeting the Nexus there for a second with that Oracle. Does a little bit of shield damage, but Paladin handles that very, very well, actually.
And does clean up both of those Oracles.
That's going to put Paladin in the food lead a bit at 42 to 41. It's like eNtitY's catching up. eNtitY now just making some probes and another Nexus as he gets his natural expansion down. So he feels like he did enough damage there. Looks like he ended up killing a total of 8 workers. Certainly not insignificant.
That's right.
Looks like Paladin's gonna want to do the same kind of ability the last time, only he's not gonna be under quite the pressure he was last game, and those Phoenix came out to be a bit more useful, obviously, to hold the Oracles off as he's gonna poke down the map, and I think he had a feeling that that was a proxy Stargate as he's gonna head right over to where he thinks it is.
And that'll be scouted, and he immediately pulls his ground force over to try and take that out. Phoenix are gonna go down for a little bit of harass or scout. We see Blink going down from eNtitY.
Paladin's going to come in and see that third base going down, and he's going to be real close to losing a Phoenix. Got some hull damage on that one as there was some Stalkers there ready for it. So Phoenix maybe not going to be as big of a factor now unless he uses them more to poke around into eNtitY's main to keep him busy. eNtitY is now supply blocked after that pylon by the Stargate was killed. Looks like he's going to leave the Stargate for now and move his forces down. Just wanted to take that pylon out. So that is going to be an issue for eNtitY as he was supply blocked, but he's putting up some pylons now.
Paladin gearing up to move into this natural base. Scout the army out a little bit with those 4
eNtitY
Phoenix.
does have a Photon Overcharge available on his Mothership Core, so it looks like he'll be pretty safe against this push. I think it's going to be mostly structured in such a way to keep eNtitY pinned back, as Paladin really needs to put down his expansion to keep up with... Paladin needs to put down his expansion to keep up with eNtitY, which looks like he's planning on with that probe down there. The Phoenix are sweeping in to do some probe kills.
Hopefully
they do
to
kill
try and
probes.
pull back the army of eNtitY, but eNtitY is not taking the bait, chases it out with a few warped-in Stalkers, and chases those Phoenix right on home.
Phoenix do kill probes so fast now. Paladin's moving into the front. Looks like eNtitY's going to be able to hold that off just fine with a few force fields and that Photon Overcharge. Phoenix are going to sweep back into the main now that the Stalkers are heading down to the natural, and he's going to be able to get quite a number of probe kills here as those Stalkers really moved away.
This has got to be a really frustrating position for eNtitY, this 2-pronged attack. Not sure where to move his units to properly defend. Would you defend the army that's coming towards the natural? Do you defend the harassed Phoenix in the back?
Units lost for eNtitY is not looking good at almost 2,000 as opposed to the 750 of Paladin. As Paladin moves in, Paladin's going to have a real strong push here as he's got outnumbered Stalkers and a lot of Zealots, and those force fields are depleted on that Sentry. Photon Overcharge, not an option. He could throw down a Time Warp, but that's about it. Photon Overcharge does actually go down as that Mothership Core gets just enough energy. He's going to push Paladin back for the moment. Phoenix are going to come back up to join up with that army. He's probably going to try and sweep in. It would have been nice if he would have got those Phoenix around instead of coming out the north side of the base. If he would have been able to bring them down around this way a little bit to try and snipe that Mothership Core, would have prevented that Photon Overcharge. But it looks like he's going to come back in here. The Phoenix is going to lift up a couple Stalkers. Phoenix do a ton of damage to those Stalkers if you can micro them around well enough, which it looks like he's doing a good job of.
Massive warp-in of Stalkers by eNtitY, swelling his numbers. Is it going to be enough to push this army back? Photon Overcharge is still shooting away.
Paladin's going to just have to pull back as Blink is done now for eNtitY, and he's going to move up knowing that he has the advantage in Paladin GG's. So that's going to be a 2-0
for eNtitY.
Good game. That was a really close game. It was a very interesting. It just really is on par with the games we've had.
Oh, absolutely.
We saw nice aggressive pushes from eNtitY both games. The second game, it was countered a bit by Paladin's Phoenix and Stargate and Stalkers, and Paladin just could not get that get that other push together. He never did put down his natural expansion, so he was one base all inning there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, eNtitY did put a pylon down to try and block that, and Paladin had a probe down there,